I'm going to show you a video of an inmate using a contraband cell phone that he has to give us an exclusive update on Alex Murdaugh that he received while he was directly beside him, the cell next to him, while incarcerated at Kirkland Correctional Institution with Murdaugh. If you're new to the channel, real quick, who the heck am I and how do I even have access to this footage? Well, I just got done barely a year ago serving 10 years in the same South Carolina Department of Corrections that Alex Murdaugh is in now. Or is he? That's something we're going to hear about in this update. Nevertheless, I'm still in touch with a lot of inmates who are still incarcerated there. We contact each other, and I've gotten this video footage of this information from a guy who is in the cell right beside Murdaugh, and he's offered this info to me for all of you. Let me go ahead and play this clip for you. It's about a minute or so long, and after that, real briefly, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'll just quickly elaborate on what he said, go over that, and give my 2 cents as well.
Yeah, I heard that y'all wanted an update on Alex. Me and him was at Kirkland together, and we talked a little bit. And he claimed he's innocent for his charges, so he put in for an interstate compact where he could get shipped to another state. And as far as I know, I think he got shipped to Florida. And he says in about 2 or 3 years he's gonna come back up, and he said he's gonna beat his charges because he done lost everything. And he claims he's innocent. But, I mean, they found him guilty and put him in jail. So, I mean, that's up to them. As far as his character, he seemed like an all right dude, you know. If he did do what he did, then he got real bad problems. And I hope he gets the punishment that he deserves. And if we can give you another update later on, we will. But right now, they got him, like, PC protected custody, and I don't think you can even, like, track him right now because they're shipping him to other states and stuff.
Now, let me break down a few things he said, because as a former inmate, hearing this other inmate, there's a few phrases and slang terms that maybe you didn't pick up on or fully grasp that actually are pretty important and significant. First, let's knock this one out of the way because it's pretty quick. Then we'll get to the actual details of Alex's situation that were discussed. As far as this inmate's opinion on Alex, did you notice he says, you know, as far as his character, he seems like an all right guy, you know, he's cool. So already you see, and I've mentioned this and predicted this in some past videos, maybe check them out. Got a whole playlist. They're absolutely going to separate the person, the inmate, from the charge the inmate is there for. As far as the other inmates, okay, when dealing with Alex, just like this one has. You know, I mean, he's known them on a personal level. They're neighbors. They're, you know, in the cell beside each other. They're bored. They're passing time. They're small talking. They're big talking. They're exchanging, you know, stories and whatnot. And in his opinion, hey, seems like a pretty cool guy. Can't believe he did, you know, what apparently he did. So already, I mean, it's not hard for him to, and it seems like he already has started learning and figured out how to just socialize with these guys, rub elbows, mingle, make friends, make acquaintances, associates, because I guess you can't really call them friends. Nobody really wants to be your friend back there. But he's learning to find his place. You know, people don't hate him. He's not just totally out of place back there. Seems like he's fitting right in. Okay, so that's just an interesting point and something I kind of suspected. I'm actually a little surprised it happened that fast. So quickly, in the past with the videos I've made covering Murdaugh and just the subject of Murdaugh in prison and how that could be, I get the question a lot, do you think Murdaugh is going to maintain his innocence in there? Maybe not so much with the guards or, you know, in court, but to these other inmates. Do you think he'll kind of just let it slip or, hey, listen, between you and me, I mean, I did it. You know, do you think anything like that will happen? Well, as we see here, it looks like his plan is to maintain his innocence. That's how he's done with this guy. He says he didn't do it, says he's not guilty, and he is absolutely wrongly incarcerated, and even predicts that within the next 2 to 3 years, so in his mind, just from who he's talked to with his lawyers and just with his own knowledge, he knows that it's, which is correct, it is going to be a good bit of time before he's able to go back up for an appeal or anything. That's totally normal. This isn't something that usually happens like next month. You know, it is going to be quite a while. So he predicts within the next 2 to 3 years, he's going to go back up and he's going to win that appeal. He's going to beat all the charges that he's currently faced with, old and new. and he's going to be out. That's how he genuinely feels. And, I guess there's at least two, maybe more ways of looking at that. From his perspective and just a former inmate's perspective, I would say I'm not surprised. As an inmate, if there is any glimmer of hope, any ray of light that you may possibly get out, especially when you have a life sentence or something comparable to a life sentence, if there's any speck of optimism there for you to hold on to believe and convince yourself that you will one day get out, you're going to hold on to that. And you're going to hold on and believe in it with everything you've got, because that's all the hope you've got. So I'm not really surprised that he feels that way, and hey, that's him. Now, the last part that I want to talk about, he mentioned something about Alex saying he put in or applied for an interstate compact so that he could potentially be shipped to another state. Apparently, it's believed that other state is Florida. Either he's on his way there, in the process of going there, or already there. And it's interesting because I've been wondering, where is Alex Murdaugh? Because the first update I got from the inmates was, yeah, he was in the reception center of Kirkland Prison being evaluated. Then they finished that evaluation and kept him on Kirkland Prison Yard and just moved him over outside of the evaluation portion of the prison to the actual portion of the prison where permanent prisoners of that yard are held, because there is both. It's a pretty big yard and they have both there. But he was put into the official protective custody unit there. And that's what I heard. And that's what it was until about a week or so later, he was moved to McCormick Prison Yard, and that he was on PC there in the protective custody unit with about 28 or so other inmates who are also on protective custody. And that's when the love letters and all that, all those updates started coming through, that people were, they weren't necessarily handwriting him letters. They were using electronically through the website or the app. You can send him essentially text messages or emails, whatever you want to call it, through this jail system communication thing they have set up. All these inmates in SCDC, they are issued a tablet. And they're not able to do anything they want on there, just very specific things that the jail and prison allows, which one of them is receive these messages from people if they pay for message credits to send and receive messages. So a lot of these people were sending them through that tablet. And when you go to send a message through that tablet, you have to type in the name, the SCDC number, things like that of the inmate you're wanting to communicate with, and also select the yard that they are on. So for a while this was working, and that's why those letters, messages, whatever, were being delivered. And then suddenly you couldn't do it anymore. I checked myself. He was suddenly unlisted, and he was not an active inmate at McCormick Yard anymore. So it was like, well, what's going on here? Where is he then? And according to this inmate, of course, I can't say this is 100% true. This is just what he said from talking to Alex Murdaugh. He has applied for an interstate compact so that he could be sent to another state. He doesn't want to be in this state prison system. He wants to move. And I guess his fingers are crossed that will be Florida. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll just have to look further into it. But so that's what that whole conversation was about. So, as you heard that inmate say, we will be looking for more information and another update as soon as he has something for me or any of my other sources who are still in that prison system. I will be sure to pass it right along to you guys. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because I will be back soon with another video.